Here's where the value lies. The value lies in you committing to yourself, in you aligning with yourself, controlling yourself. But a lot of the people that are out there, they're losing control. You know why? Because they're emotional, they're not logical. And the more emotional you are, right, the less in control you are of yourself. And this kills people. What they do is they get so tied up in the emotions, they get so on the roller coaster, right, where they are constantly thinking about how they feel, how to change how they feel, how they can feel better all the time. They're never really logical, because when we're actually in a place where we're logical, we're understanding that there might be some bad feelings that come with some actions that you have to take. There's going to be some fear that sets in when you're trying to make a move. But when the person is constantly just in a state of emotion, then you are struggling to get in control of yourself. And this absolutely kills people. This is exactly how someone will become addicted. Someone will become obsessed with something because they know that it's going to have this feel good attachment to it. And when you're constantly chasing a feel good, you never understand that there is this sense of worth that lies in the work that you don't necessarily want to do. Now, not everything that you do is going to feel good. It's okay if you don't like what you're doing. It's okay if what you're doing isn't necessarily giving you the results so quickly, right? Everyone wants the fucking outcome, right? The outcome will come to those who are not seeking it every fucking day. The outcome will come to those who are putting in the work, focusing on what they're doing day by day and being so damn present with it. Okay. And unless you are willing to really get logical, get rational, get like really clear with yourself and understand that you are only going to be as good as your emotional capacity. Now, what does that mean, right? You're probably thinking, what the fuck does that mean? Well, your emotional capacity is if you are someone that like has like super, super high highs, but then you have super, super low lows, well, then guess what? You don't have a very good emotional capacity. Your control of yourself is pretty damn low, right? Someone that can see something, whether it's bad, whether it's good, but they can control themselves. That is someone that is powerful. Right? We all have like this inner beast, right? We have a dangerous side to us. And the dangerous side to every person is always the person that when shit gets hard, when an obstacle comes out, what happens is that side of you, right, because of your character, it's tested and there's pressure applied to it, it comes out because you didn't control it. If you had controlled that emotional response or emotional reaction, then you would be a more powerful person. But the reason why you're not is because you're solely just kind of focusing on what's the outcome? What's the outcome? How do I respond? How do I react? What do I do? Whereas you're not kind of taking a step back, pausing and going, what's this all about? What is this trying to teach me? How can I be better? How can I respond? How can I relate? All of these is what matters the most. And so I tell people this all the time because I think that there is this big giant world out there where people want like this positive mindset, right? Like you want the motivation to get a better mindset. Now, you can't just create a better mindset through motivation. Motivation is going to only probably get you started to maybe, I don't know, make a move in your life, start going to the gym. Maybe you're going to be motivated to start eating healthier. Maybe you're going to be motivated to start a hobby or, do something slightly different. But in reality, that motivation will die down and then you're going to start to feel like, well, what happened to it? Where did it go? Why am I not really like feeling that same sense? It's because motivation can only get you so far. It really can only get you started. After that, you're solely relying on your discipline. Now, discipline doesn't really have an emotion tied to it, right? Discipline is more so like you don't really want to do it. You really don't feel good in the midst of it either, right? So you're probably constantly telling yourself, well, no, I don't really want to. I don't really want to. And you kind of go back and forth and back and forth, and you don't feel really good about the whole process. This is why people that talk about discipline, what they're meaning to say is that the disciplined person will do the shit that they don't want to do no matter what. And when they do this, they get really, really great results. The results come to people. It's just how it is. And these results that come to people, it's pretty epic. Like they really, really are loud. Now, they also come to those who are the most patient. And I think a lot of people don't understand the value of patience. Like patience is such an incredible characteristic that few can actually say that they are patient. Now, this has been my major test, right? Everyone has like a life lesson. My life lesson is patience. It's one of my main life lessons. Reason for that is because, as you guys have probably heard, I've had 9 surgeries. After every surgery, I had to develop patience because I wanted to get back into my regular. I wanted to do everything I wanted to do. However, I, I had to follow a process, and that had a day by day to a week by week to a month by month. I had to just be patient. And that was it. I didn't have a choice. And so you have to look at, no matter what journey you are on, if you are not patient to get through the days that suck, the days that are great, the days that are testing you the most, if you are not patient enough, you do not deserve the outcome. So you have to develop that patience. And now that patience is going to test your emotional capacity because you're going to get frustrated because you're going to get impatient. And that through your impatience, you're like, why is it not happening right now? Like that's going to be your thought process. And then your character's going to get revealed. You're going to get a little stressed out, a little overwhelmed, and you're going to go and act out and do something dumb. That's usually what happens. So, how to do it, right? Be patient, pause, trust yourself, trust the process, trust that time will take care of everything. Time will reveal everything. It really will, right? Everything that is going to happen, that's meant to happen, that will happen, it will show up for you. But you have to trust that. And you have to be okay if it doesn't happen on your watch, but it happens on a different watch. It happens at the time that it was actually meant to happen. Now, the more that you can commit yourself to the process, just be so damn present. Be present every day. Be about the journey that you're on. This is going to help you a lot. This is going to be a game changer for you. And when you're here, when you're doing this, and when you're actually in this process, you're going to value it more because you're not going to remember really like the days that the results came exactly when you wanted them to and everything was great and you had so many wins. You're probably going to remember more about how hard it was, right? When you were right in the midst of it and you were struggling and you were wanting to quit, you're going to remember those days and you didn't. You were like, well, what if I go just another day? What if I try just a little harder? That's what you're going to remember. And that's what you got to remind yourself. So develop a much higher emotional capacity. Control your emotions. This is an absolute life changer, right? It really does help you so much with where you're trying to go, what you're trying to achieve. Control your emotions. In that, right? If you want to have a bit of motivation, cool. Let that motivation set in. And finally, just be damn patient, right? You are not in this sprint, right? You're in a marathon. Like you're in this life to literally live as long as you can with as high of a quality as you can. The more that you commit yourself to that process and do the best that you can, you're going to thrive. You're going to thrive, but you have to remind yourself that. You have to just be so like dig deeper and know that every single thing that you want is on the other side of fear. So make a move, take action because you're one decision away from a completely different life.